You want to learn how to make money. You want to learn how to trade. You want to learn how to trade consistently. You want to be able to control your emotions, control fear, greed, FOMO, all that stuff, all those things. You're worried about all those things. And I'm telling you how to defeat all that stuff right here. My son encountered all that stuff. He saw what it looks like to have money flashing in those trades. And he didn't close them when he felt like he should have. Greed was touching him and saying, you're on a roll, boy. Push your edge. You know it's going to go right up there. You know it's going to go down there. And if it does, you're going to make $1,000. Your dad's going to be so proud of you. He's going to put your ass on Twitter. You're going to be on blast. Imagine how good it's going to feel. And $1,000. It's $1,000. Don't you want to make that $1,000? Come on. Hold it a little bit longer. Yeah. The rules say to close it right here. But take the limit order off. Take it off. You don't need that. It's holding you back. It's holding you back. Go a little bit further. Just a little bit further down the road. That's where the better destination is. That's where all the cool cats hang out. There it is. It's over. Shit the bed. Trade turnaround. Reversed on him and become a losing trade. How many times you been there? How many times have you heard that voice whispering in your ear? Shh. Don't close it. Don't do it. Don't close the trade. Go for more. Yeah, you didn't think about that before you put the trade on, but look, you're smarter now. You're in the trade. Yeah, you're smart now, aren't you? The only thing smarting is your ass. It hurts, doesn't it? The facts are, you have to submit yourself to a whole lot of uncomfortable things, and you have to defer gratification. And that's what makes this hard. It makes it so hard because you want to have something to hold your hat on, to cling to as a reason to keep going. Okay. And the fact that you're progressing and doing things in a controlled environment and you're not losing the discipline, you're not doing things recklessly, you're not demanding it to do more than you want it to do, and being content with that, that is progress. That is immaculate. That is impeccable. That is the cream of the crop type of progress that you want to hold on to throughout your entire career. Because number one, it's realistic. It's required to be having any longevity in this industry. You have to be absolutely dialed in and filtering out all these intrusive thoughts of doing things that's outside your model and not allowing for circumstances that are outside of your model to yield a profit that you can't boast about, that you can't champion. You can't parade around and say, look what I did. Like Tom Hanks in the movie Outcast, where he gets up there and he makes fire for the first time and he starts beating his chest. Look at me. I made fire. Ooh. You know, funny scene, great scene. But that's exactly what it feels like when you make money and you don't know what the fuck you did it for. Like, how'd you do that? I don't know, but it's burning. It's fire. It's lit. You're going to look for anything to make yourself feel good about that thing. But when you take a step back and think about what you did to get there, how did it happen? I can't replicate that. So therefore, why are you bragging about it? Tell nobody you did it, and tell yourself in your journal, this doesn't count. I should not be doing these things, and I'm going to refrain from doing that. That's not beating yourself up. That's scolding yourself without having any negative connotations added to it. Very, very critical. You're going to do it, folks. It's human nature. We're going to do it. I am a very monogamous man. Okay. I've never went out on my wife. I would never do that. Okay. I am a man true and true. I literally can appreciate a very attractive woman. And truth be told, she's caught my eye wandering into the southern hemisphere of a woman that may be attractive that walks by. I'm not looking at it and oogling over her, but it's just the way it is. A dog's a dog, right? It doesn't mean I'm going to go after her. It doesn't mean I'm going to pursue it. It doesn't mean I'm going to give her the time of day, or even that it would be warranted to do that. But she'll look at me, she'll smile, I saw that. And I'm like, it is what it is, right? I mean, by nature, we're going to do it. Until I get out of this flesh, I'm going to sin. Okay, it doesn't mean because I believe in Christ, it doesn't mean that I am a Christian. That doesn't mean I'm walking on water and I'm holier than thou. It just means that I have a redeemer and I have someone I can ask to forgive me when I make those mistakes and sin. Until I leave this body, I'm going to make mistakes. And as a trader, you are going to do things that you know you shouldn't do or regret that you did it. And experience will teach you, don't do that again. Those are the two transactions that you have to submit to and accept the consequences of it. And you can look at them and say, this is enough for me to never want to do it again. And some do that. Smarter people do that. If they know they will never be able to wrestle themselves into submission and build and forge discipline, the best thing you can do is stop and never do it again. Limit your losses to that and just say, you know what? I tried. I learned a lot about myself. I don't have the discipline to do that. And if I kept doing it, I would lose more money. That is a win. That is someone that is mature and they understand their limitations as a human being. And they said, this is not for me. There it is. It's done. I'm going to go do something else with my life. And guess what? Life will still continue. It ain't going to, it's not going to put you in the grave. You can't do this. That's one thing. But as traders, we can't imagine doing anything but this for the rest of our life. And for some of you to have that feeling right now and you haven't found profitability yet or consistency, you've already subscribed to that. That's your lifestyle now. You're always going to be doing that. You can't imagine yourself never doing this, or not doing it rather. That's a characteristic. That's a trait in a trader that needs to be there. If you can't imagine a time when you're not doing this inside of you, that's the person I'm trying to help you cultivate. That's the trader in you. That's the person that is trying to grow. And many of you are stifling that growth. You're choking it. You're smothering it by constantly feeding toxicity to it, worrying about stuff that doesn't help that person in you as a trader grow. You're holding that person back. And it's a perfect excuse why you failed, because you're doing it to yourself. Because deep down inside, you don't believe you deserve to be successful. And that's an unfortunate thing. And I had a Twitter space, not a Twitter space, but I did a SoundCloud about that. Are you deserving? Because honestly, I didn't feel like I deserved it when I was a younger man. I certainly didn't feel like I earned any right to having this ability. While I wanted to have the better than average lifestyle, I didn't see this type of lifestyle as the goal. I just wanted to not have to earn my job income on a week by week basis working for somebody else once I turned 40. That was my goal. And I grew up in a very humble environment where my grandfather made $300 a week as a person working in a lumber yard in Essex. He worked a forklift and stacked lumber all day. That's what he did. Nobody made a whole lot of money, and where we lived, it literally called Cardboard City. And it's hard to have a perspective about being rich when you come from that, when nobody else around you had that kind of money. My whole area in Middle River was all low income. Many of the people around there, and my mother was one of them, we were on subsidies. We had food stamps. We had all that stuff. And when you live like that, it's real hard to open and broaden your mindset to living an affluent lifestyle. That is what people that are movie stars live. And that was my understanding as a little boy. Only movie stars can live like that. So I'm not a movie star, so I can't accept that. I can't see that happening. But I knew, and I know still to this day that I was built differently. And I was not meant to be a slave. I was not meant to be prostituted, having my time paid for at an undervalued rate. And everybody that has a job has accepted that. I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't care how much you earn. You can call yourself a professional. You could be a highly productive person in your field. You're still prostituting your time. You're allowing someone else to put a value that they have capped. This is the most you're worth to me. And you better show up on time, motherfucker, or you're gone. That's how I see a job. That's how I see it. And that may not be what you see. You may see something entirely different. You may be, you're blessed, you have a job and blah, blah. And I guess in a lot of ways you are, because everybody needs to have it in the beginning. But to live there and spend your entire existence in that, that's not me. And I don't want my sons and my daughter to have that. But they choose the path that they're in, because I can't make them a trader unless they want to be a trader. Enigma requires effort. You have to think about things, and you have to be disciplined, and you have to follow specific things, or you'll lose money too. It's not an automated thing. It's not something that's going to just automatically, autonomously put you in, and you don't have to do any thinking at all. But they have to have a baseline. And the only one of my kids that had the closest thing to it now is Cameron. Caleb changes all the time. He wants to do swing trading. He wants to do day trading. He wants to be position trading. He's still finding himself. Cameron literally walked out there and proved it to me that he has it in him, proved it to me that, you know, the information is transferable, and that my concepts in the hands of a neophyte, no experience, reckless abandonment, not giving a shit what anybody thinks about him, just going out there and just doing it. And, you know, it is what it is. He did 2 times what most people can't get one of. He did 3 times what most people can't get one of. And he did it in 1 month after failing 7 times. I think that's an interesting number. Completion. So you can look at your progress and look for all these things to nitpick and be argumentative and condescending to yourself. Say, oh, well, this is not good enough. Or you can say, you know what? I know more this week, more than I did last week. I didn't crash and burn on this day, on this time. I didn't do that foolish thing that I felt impulsively that I wanted to do. Whereas 3 weeks ago, I would have. Are you willing to trade with less margin all the way down to 1 micro contract? If it meant that you're going to fix all the problems that you're fearful of and you're spending so much time and energy worrying about right now. What if I can't do it? What if I blow my account? What if I fail this challenge? What if I lose my funded account? What if I do this? What if you do what I'm asking you to do, which costs nothing? Trade in your demo with 1 micro lot. Aim for consistency with 10 points. Look and see what it feels like to be with those trades and how little that amount of money is. And condition yourself to see the point values. And then when you get real comfortable with that and you can do it consistently, up it up to 1. I'm sorry, 1 more. So now you're trading with 2. And when you get comfortable with that, go up to 3. All the way up to 10, which is a standard mini lot. Once you do that, cycle all the way back down to 1 micro lot. And now try to do it for 15 points. When you do that consistently, go up to 2 micro contracts and aim for that same 15. What are you doing? You're doing reps. You're doing sets and you're doing reps. You're conditioning yourself, because none of you are ready to be trading with $300 for fucking point. Okay. I don't give a fuck if it's a combine challenge, whatever. $300 per point, folks. That is size in a market that moves. And when you have no experience and you're limiting it to just, I hope it works out for me, that is not sound logic. That is not what traders do. That's what gamblers do. You're gambling. And I'm sorry if you want to resist that definition and call it something other than what it is, but that's absolutely what it is. And that's going to hold you hostage, and you'll never be able to hold those long winning big runners for the day because you're worried about that big win dissolving down into a loss or a smaller win, instead of submitting to the idea that the trade is really designed to go here. And it doesn't matter how much I have. I've traded what I could afford. I traded where my sweet spot in equity is. You might discover, no matter how much money you earn, I have students that made very, very huge runs in their equity. Big fucking money. End of working kind of money. Okay. And they won't trade more than 10 contracts, no matter what. They can do a whole lot more. But why won't they go more than 10? Because they don't like how they feel about the trades when they're trading with more than that. That's maturity. That's a disciplined mindset that has went through the processes I'm telling you to do. They went through it meticulously. They submitted themselves to it, and they discovered that little sweet spot where you might only be a 3 contract trader and you are fucking phenomenal as a 3 contract trader. Beat the brakes off of everybody else that's trying to trade with 15 contracts. Not that you should be comparing and contrasting, but there are levels to this stuff that none of you are considering that are going to be highly impactful to you as the trader and how you think. Just because it's available, just because me or someone else that might be a student of mine or someone else that doesn't even trade like us is trading with whatever a fuck amount it is, has this much in funding, has this much in payouts. Who gives a flying fuck? You can't spend their money. You're not driving their cars. You're not sleeping in their fucking house. They're not going to do anything for you. They're not going to pay your fucking bills. So you got to find your own way in this. They found their own way and they're comfortable doing what they're doing. If it's, gambling out of their fucking mind and doing high risk all the time, and they're comfortable with that, guess what? There are professional poker players that do that and they make their living doing it. Are you a professional fucking poker player? Are you on that fucking final table every fucking year? No. So stop trying to do that stuff in trading. You want it to be steady Eddie, stuff that this is going to happen and you can trust it and work towards that each day. You train yourself and you condition yourself, do those things in mind. And the facts will speak for themselves. Progress will be measurable. It's not going to be overnight, and it shouldn't be overnight. You can't get comfortable doing things like this that are highly technical, highly dependent on a mindset that is fortified in something that you believe in, that you know will continue. The people that are asking me, is this going to stop working? You're never going to be a trader. You're never going to amount to shit as a trader. As long as you start worrying about those types of things, you're looking for excuses why not to do it. That's what you're really asking me. You're asking me to give you permission to say, don't try. Think about it. This is a lot of work. Yeah, I can make a lot of money, but it's a lot of videos to study. It's a lot of things to do. He's asking me to do a lot of stuff, man. I really like my personal time and all the TV shows and streaming apps that I have. I watch too much fucking stuff to put this in there. I have no time for this. What's the chances of us not working if all these people start doing it ICT? Is this going to stop working? Are they going to change the algorithm? Yeah, they are. They're going to stop it. They're going to change it right now. Don't bother. Go back to watching fucking, Family fucking Feud. Okay, go ahead. Just go back to doing that. Go watch your television. Go listen to the fucking news. Go do whatever you want to do. Waste your time doing other things because this isn't going to be profitable for you. I just saved you a whole lot of time and money. Done. But some of you know better than that.